2024. Hope you're all doing okay. Yeah, everything is about Trump and the assassination, and meanwhile, we are all being assassinated. All of us. Many have already ceased breathing. Many more today. Many will cease breathing tomorrow. It seems like everybody gets into this whole tizzy around, oh my God, somebody shot Trump. The Operation Psychopathic Warp Speed, rah, rah, look at how great I am. I got that vaccine. I put pressure on the FDA. Never has he acknowledged. Never has he acknowledged what that new product in 2020 did. The destruction of people's health, and then the assassinations, the murders that took place. But everybody's rah-rah Trump. I find this world that we are living in rather taxing. It takes a lot of energy to just get through each day. That's my experience. A lot of that has to do with my personal my personal circumstances. The comfortable are still at it. But, you know, I've heard from a lot of people who still have, and they're finding it very difficult to get through each day. And may you never have to suffer the consequences of not having. Because whatever it is that you're going through, oh, you can times it by 10, 20, 30. When the loss of home, the loss of everything. Yes, we will own nothing, but we'll be happy. Today was a very hard day for me. Very, very hard. And I almost came close to crying. I just can't. You know, it's not like I'm, doing anything to prevent the tears. It's kind of like a sneeze, but the sneeze never comes. That's really annoying, but and noticing an awful lot of people talking about they have no hope. No hope. And then you have the people who come, oh, if you lose hope, you've just, dug a grave for yourself. Yeah, well, that's essentially what's going on. You know, my hope always rested in community, right? In people working on themselves. My hope is not this false hope or a Hopi injection into my veins. And there is something about the connection between the people in your surroundings, that provides the hope, provides inspiration, provides we're social creatures. And I don't see any of that going on, so it's been, for some of us, this is a very painful experience. And I'm tired of it. I'm really tired now. I'm especially tired today, okay. I understand that I have to move in a couple of days, and I'm staying in Arizona, moving with the subscriber to this house that's rented temporarily until this place gets renovated. And it's just you get to the point where it's just too much, you know. Even though it's 10 minutes away. I mean, but the cats, dogs are so much easier. And people would always tell me that cats were so much easier because, you know, they're so independent. You just have to feed them. And no, well, not if you have outdoor cats. I don't feel like I'm preaching rage. I'm just, you try to get through to people and, no smooth dreaming. Oh, by the way, yeah, severe weather should come our way at around 6 tonight. And I can see them laying out the clouds. So, and I'll show you what, I don't know what time it was, 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. Sunrise, sunset. The amount of nanoparticulates in this is the lithium, the barium, the strontium, the aluminum, the microwaves, which are very visible in the sky. Very visible in the sky. I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. I have to wonder if it was just being blasted with all of the frequencies. Yeah. Lovely, isn't it? And there's bookend.
Wow, huh?
Yeah. He follows me around, kind of like a dog. But it's pretty sickening. But yes, we are all being murdered. Some are going sooner, and some will go later. But we're all being made sick, made, I don't know, apathetic, passive, whatever, depressed,
Oy, oy, oy.
affecting everything, all things life. All things life. So yeah, I haven't been, you know, listening to full videos, or you can't get away from the Trump crap. And as far as I'm concerned, it's just another staged event, and it's like everything is a movie, a really shitty movie, sometimes a horrifying movie, but the actors and this is not what I ever thought life would be. It is not what I ever thought life would be. Anyway, hello Alicia and Analog Synth Player and Rage Against the Machine, and Sandra, hi, and Andrew Cruz, and Hypocrites Matrix, Jake M, Steve Ladner, Super Painting 62, Silent Walk, Julio Max, Maximus, and Drops Family Garden, Silent Walk. Are we buffering already? Yeah, of course. Sacramento Linny, Justin Wynn, Barb, Jay Northrup, Celia, Amarati, hey, and Louisiana Skywatch, hi, Kim Blanchard, good to see you. Well, good to see everybody. I'm sure I'm missing people, so hey, Angelos, Oracle 11, Outlaw Biker, McSoylent Green, Here we go again. Oh man, I can't stand it. Oh, and they're juicing up Iowa and into Wisconsin and Illinois. And this, by the way, was the blob that I showed you in Minnesota and Wisconsin last night. And that, you know, was very slow moving, but apparently now they are gutting it. Only to bring about the activation of more supercells. Look at Florida. Oh, Florida. Lots of rain for you. Ignition. Ignition complete. Mississippi, Alabama. Lots of extremely low frequencies blasting away in Southern California. What? Loading images. Okay. Load away. Very slow. Very slow. Oh, I sense the winds. Well,
Cause of death, but the HOA board members here say that there's a large population of elderly and mobile people here, and they need their power turned back on because these conditions are dire.
Yeah.
We still are without power. I mean, these buildings still don't have any power, and we still have several residents that are elderly or at risk for one reason or another. First and foremost, we need a crew out here. We need to get power as soon as is humanly possible, and I don't know of any other way to communicate with Centerpoint the severity of the situation here beyond what we've already done.
Beg. Get on your knees. Beg. And then don't expect anything to happen from it. Oh, we are being treated very poorly. I'm not liking that. We are being treated very poorly. And when you allow people to, treat you poorly, they will just keep going. And unfortunately, very often, the poor treatment just gets worse and worse and worse. Buffering, 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 buffering. Yeah, well. Roads in northern New Hampshire washed out by heavy rain. Heavy rain? Hurricane Beryl.
There have not been any reports of injuries as a result of the storm, but there were obviously some close calls. This SUV balanced precariously on what is left of a bridge on Route 135 in Monroe. All around the North Country, there has been damage to roads making for slow going, if you could get there at all.
The whole water was up over the road. It was just, I couldn't get into my driveway. So I tried to pull up to the side and ended up in the ditch.
Up the road, a little further on 135 in Dalton, long stretches of the road had their sides eaten away by the rushing waters. And then there is what is left of a bridge.
The sinkhole started and it looked like a giant toilet bowl. And then it flushed itself.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Here's crazy. Up the road's all washed out. It's amazing how much the water's just taking out the area.
My in-laws' road is now gone.
They were able to get out another way. But for those traveling in the North Country, be prepared for a lot of detours and limited choices.
There's only one way to get out of town from here, and that's to go over the Gilman Bridge and take a left onto Route 2 and follow that until you hit the intersection.
Remnants of Hurricane Beryl. Does that sound like that makes sense? Does it sound like it makes sense? Nobody thinks anymore. Mexico got hit hard.
Se lo cargó. Otro, güey. Hijo de la chingada.
The town of Tlapa, located in
Full spectrum survival. Whether you like how somebody delivers the message or not, that is irrelevant to the message itself, okay? All right. Just wanted to point that out.
Venezuelans, or they are presumed to be Venezuelans, part of the armed and illegal groups that are coming into the United States, part of the Tren de Aragua group. Now, they took over a robbery of a jewelry store, pointing guns at the customers. 3 Hispanic men in a separate incident broke into a house in Aurora, Colorado, pretending to be
essentially everything. You know, it's going to be a problem, reaction, solution type of situation where they've already made the solution, they've already developed what they want to be the new financial governance system after this new Bretton Woods moment. They just need some sort of big event on the scale of World War II or some large event that's, you know, equally disruptive in order to be like, all right, now it's time for a new financial governance system.
About a year ago, while speaking at the Global Finance Summit in Paris, French President Emmanuel Macron said the world needs a public financial shock to fight global warming. Around the same time, World Economic Forum founder and executive chairman Klaus Schwab also made a similar statement about revamping the global economy. In his words, every country from the United States to China must participate, and every industry from oil and gas to tech must be transformed. We need a great reset of capitalism, Schwab added in an article published on the non-governmental organization's website. According to popular investigative journalist Whitney Webb, what we are witnessing is the birth of a new international monetary system, a replacement for the current Bretton Woods system built solely on the blockchain to aid the complete surveillance and censorship of every aspect of our lives.
Bada bing. Every aspect of your life will be monitored, controlled. Ask government officials for permission to do anything. Who could want to live in that world? That's why a lot of people are feeling like they're just done. They're done. How much it costs to give birth in America? Okay, so I often think about the New World Order Insider, the 1969, was it? I can't even remember now. Dr. Day, who gave the lecture telling his audience what was going to be happening to the United States in the coming decades from 1969 on. And one of the topics that he spoke on was how expensive the medical field will become, and only the very rich will be able to afford any kind of medical services. Now, a whole lot of people have given up their medical services. But listen to this. It is pretty shocking, actually. Buffering. Why do I persist? I don't know.
Okay, so I just got a email.
Okay.
And it is the hospital bill for having Quincy. Okay, I had my baby in January, beginning of January, just got the bill for the total of everything. For reference, went into the hospital Wednesday, I got released Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, so Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I was there for 3 nights. I was in there for 3 nights. I had to get medically induced.
Epidural.
Got an epidural. And there was no complications or anything like that. So the total charges, all combined, $87,891.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's break it down. For the room that I had the baby in, it's $14,706. Just to
Did they
sleep
give
in
you an
there.
extra kidney? What is that for?
For laboratory services, $8,794. Pharmacy, for the Motrin they gave me afterwards, $3,608.
Oh my gosh. I could have just went to the Walgreens down the road, right next door.
Emergency room, not even sure what that means because I was
You weren't in the emergency
maybe
room.
triage for me to be in the triage room.
Triage is an emergency.
$7,406.
Oh my gosh, we were there for 4 hours and that bed was so uncomfortable.
It was hot too. It was so hot there.
Gosh. I could have just went to the Walgreens down the road, right next door.
Do you hear this? This is what Americans putting up with being treated with utter contempt by your leaders who you vote for got us right here. Got us right here. So what, 87,000 plus for one baby for less than a full 24/7 hour, 24 hours. You hear the wind? It's, God forbid we should just get a rainy day, right? God forbid we should just get a rainy day. I am just if I had an outlet, if I had something to work with, if this was my home, if, I'd be much better, but... And I can hear the tarp. They didn't secure it. Is Louisiana Skywatch still in? And I was walking around, even today, I was mentioning, this tarp is just flapping in the breeze, you know. You can see the wind getting under the tarp in many areas, which I find like a little strange. Oh boy. So yeah, things are mighty expensive. Let's just take a listen to this one. If it'll work. Probably won't even work.
A couple of hours to make sure that I'm actually in labor, and then we drove all the way to the hospital. When we came to the hospital, I was already 8 centimeters dilated, so we went straight into the delivery room. Because this is my second baby, the delivery was super fast. I delivered in 20 minutes after entering the room. It was a very smooth delivery. I had a tear, which they stitched and brought us to another room. Here we had our own bathroom, my husband was allowed to stay with me, and we had unlimited food. Now, because we had a small kid at home, we asked them to discharge us the next day, so we only stayed there a night. We went home, and in 2 weeks, we received a bill. $36,000. Well, I actually had an insurance, so it was only $2,000 for me, but still, $36,000 for.
And that's the scam of it all. Now, what they charge insurance, very, very often you don't even see. You're paying a premium, and then you're paying, you know, whatever it is that you have to pay. but they're charging insurance companies, the hospitals, but then they have, and I posted a video on this years ago, so excuse me, I can't remember all of the details, so you can't quote me on the details, but it's a flippin' scam. It's a flippin' scam. They charge the insurance companies. The insurance companies are not paying, you know, that price. I can't even remember, so I'm not even going to speak to it, but everything in this country is just who would want to live in this? Who? Everything's a scam. All right, so this is Dark Waters again, who I did recommend that you check out his channel, subscribe. I like his delivery, but here he is. I'm just going to play a few minutes. Here we go. Questioning the governance of smart cities. Don't we have to question it? Yeah, I know. It's beating a dead horse. Well, guess what? You just hope that maybe the horse will take a breath. I don't know. What else can we do?
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody's been telling me I need to get to the point of the video within the first 30 seconds. Frankly, they've been telling me that you have the attention span of a poodle.
Am I cute? If yes, subscribe to me.
I don't believe that. However, I will tell you within the first 20 seconds what I'm going to explain through this whole video. And that is that if you go to a smart city, you're going to die. City. That's what this entire video is about. So if you want to hear the rest of this video about how you will die if you live in a smart city, then stick with me. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, are you familiar with The Line, the city called The Line in Saudi Arabia? The algorithm has been fighting me since I started.
Okay. I have to go out and check something, and I want to look at the roof, but if this begins to circle, I hope that you can have a little bit of patience, that maybe it'll start to play again, or patience enough, I'm only going to be a few minutes and I'll come back and drop the link again. But I like the presentation. I like the way this man delivers the information.
Started talking about the lizard people. I've been fighting back. But I'm going to need help from you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I need you to hit the like button.
In 2017, Saudi Arabia announced NEOM, a mega city built in the middle of the desert. It was supposed to be a futuristic, car-free utopia, but looks like the project is running on fumes. Do you know why? Because NEOM has a $500 billion price tag. It's too much, even with all that oil money, $500 billion. So now Riyadh is changing tack. It is courting more and more investors. This week, hundreds of investors will visit the mega city. They will look at the progress and hopefully want to invest. Riyadh is also chasing Chinese funds for the project. But will that be enough for NEOM to take off?
Outward from a central location, they would be built vertically and arranged, well, in a line, hence the name. Even though the vision for the city stretches 170 kilometers, it would do away with cars entirely and instead be connected by high-speed rail that would travel the entire length in just 20 minutes. And each individual community would be largely self-contained, so that almost anything you could need, be it a school, a doctor, or a quick meal, would be only a 5-minute walk away. The government says the line will run on 100% clean energy and make extensive use of sensors and AI to manage the city's services. And all of this is supposed to be nestled in the pristine natural landscape of the Tabuk province with minimal impact on the environment.
Some mega genius in Saudi Arabia decided they were going to come up and develop and build an entire city that is miles long and is 20 stories high, but it's like just a highway, a corridor through the desert. Tell me what could go wrong with that. Tell me what could go wrong with that. And then on top of that, there have been people dying everywhere, protesting, murders associated with the line.
The Line, a gleaming city carved into the desert. It's part of NEOM, Saudi Arabia's vision for the future. But 3 villagers stood in the way of the project and objected to being moved. I spoke to this former Saudi intelligence officer who says he was given permission to use lethal force on villagers who refused to leave.
The order said whoever continues to resist should be killed.
He dodged the mission in which this man was shot dead by Saudi forces. The Saudi government says he was a terrorist. UN and human rights groups say he was killed for refusing eviction. These are 3 of the 5 villagers that are now on death row facing terrorism charges. On these satellite images, you can see one of the villages where they lived. Homes, schools, hospitals wiped off the map. The Saudi government and NEOM didn't respond to comment.
How in Sam hell do you expect me and you right there, you over there too, you right there, how in Sam hell do they expect us to believe that human beings who can't share neighborhoods with backyards without having problems? How many of y'all got a neighbor and your neighbor make too much damn noise? They won't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning cutting the grass on a Saturday morning. You don't need to cut no grass at 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, I understand it's 110 degrees outside. You won't get it done before the sun come up, before it get too hot. Start at about 7:30, man. 8, let people sleep in. Now, those kind of things lead to shootouts, stabbings, murders. And you expect us to believe that we all just gonna go along and get along and live inside a giant 20-mile long box. And everybody gonna be cool with it. Really? 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 How do we get to the point to where people will want to live in such an environment like that? What would have to happen to the entire planet Earth in order for everyone who has common sense to agree to be confined inside of a city that's a box that basically you cannot leave because the top of the walls are 20 stories high? If you decided to try and climb down, chances are you would die. We know that it's a high technology city, so guess what? There's robots and cameras everywhere. What would need to happen to the entire world, ladies and gentlemen, for you to be forced to live in such an environment? Because I submit to you that you over there and you over there and you over there do not want to live in such an environment. Now, this newer generation, I believe they call them millennials, y'all might want to live in some stuff like that. Caught myself, boy, you see how I caught myself? Y'all might want to live in a place like that. You might find it exciting, but I'm telling you, I ain't trying to live in that. But no, look, listen. Now, let's focus on attention spans. Let me show y'all some flashy, shiny things and see if we can keep y'all attention. So here go the first flashy, shiny thing about the city. Here we go.
NEOM was announced in 2017. It was Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's brainchild, a way to diversify the kingdom's oil-dependent economy. It was billed as humanity's chapter, but the project had a $500 billion price tag, and that has since raised eyebrows. Architects questioned its viability, while investors questioned the cost. And the project hasn't made much progress. In 2022, MBS unveiled the line, which will run a 170-kilometer straight line through the desert. It was expected to be 33 times the size of New York City.
You see what I'm saying about these smart cities? And now, the concept and idea that we should live in a confined space like this, and it's sold to you, oh, it's so beautiful, it's gonna be, there's no traffic, there's no anything. You know what makes life beautiful? What makes life beautiful is I can get up in the morning, I can light my cigar, I could drive into traffic. And I may be just a tad bit aggravated with the fact that the lady in front of me is driving a little bit too slow. And I might even experience road rage. Like, what the hell is wrong with this person? And then I swerve around, I come around and I look, and I say, oh man, that's just a little old lady. And now I'm like, y'all leave that little old lady alone, she old. That's the humanity in us. Yeah, we're flawed, imperfect people. But we're all beautiful people, but we're flawed and imperfect. And that imperfection makes us beautiful to some extent. And so what they want to do is they want to make you a robot. They want to strive for perfection.
Short-term future.
So in the short-term future, I think we want to have human enhancement that works well. It's the horrible shame that people are aging and dying unnecessarily. We could be smarter. We could have better ways of handling our mental anguish. And we need other technologies like in AI safety technology to make our machines safer and better. And of course, science fiction is full of ideas that, if implemented, would change the future of humanity.
By subduing you, making you do what they want you to do. And I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that inside of these damn smart cities, these 15-minute cities, this is what this is. The line is a 15-minute city. Within these 15-minute cities, you'll see murder, death, violence, perversion, unlike anything you've ever seen. And corruption, unlike anything you've ever seen. Look at your average American city. Better yet, look at your average city all around the world. Corruption rules and reigns. So you trying to tell me I'm locked inside of a corrupt city? But right now, if all the corruption gets out of control, I can get my car and drive and go somewhere else. I can go live in the woods. Then they're gonna move you into the damn desert. So when you leave the city, if you flee the city, you fleeing into the damn desert. That's like them building a city in Antarctica. Oh yeah, I'm going to live in a smart city in Antarctica. Yay! And then when you have to escape the smart city, oh my God, it's freezing out here. I'm going to die. It sounds like something from a horror movie. Yeah.
Okay, the link is in the chat. Dark Waters, check them out. And I've been noticing views on other channels. Dark Waters has nearly 500,000 subscribers. 7 hours ago, 1,722 views. 1,000. He has nearly 500,000 subscribers. And I've been noticing on other channels with high subscriber numbers, their views are minimal. Even on Kim Iverson and other channels, I can't think of the names off the top of my head. So you can't go by the numbers at all. And I hear an awful lot of people saying hit the like to change the algorithms. I never say that because I don't think it works. I just don't think it works. Maybe it does. I could be wrong, but no, something is grossly wrong, because the view numbers, the subscriber numbers, even the like numbers, something is amiss with what YouTube is doing. I don't know if it's on other media platforms. I think it's on Twitter for sure. You know, for the first time in my life, I've thought, oh, this is what it means to be shadow banned. And that was from Twitter. Now, am I on YouTube? Look, I never want to say anything definitive if I don't have evidence. But Twitter, something happened to my account that I'm like, okay, you know, I might get 2 views, you know, and I don't have an awful lot of followers or whatever they're called on Twitter. I have like 900, but 2 views, you know, maybe a like. It's almost like it's a dead account. This is very hard to keep going, because you don't feel like your account is whatever, you know, whether it's Twitter or YouTube or whatever social media account you're working off of, whatever platform, you feel like, especially with those of us who had high numbers, and now the numbers don't seem to change at all, and they stay pretty much low. it's disheartening. You know, it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Now, I'm not somebody who's interested in social media success. I didn't come on here. This is not my career. I just came on here because I was concerned. So, but there's a lot of people who have put an awful lot into their channels. And to see this, it's kind of heartbreaking. I don't know what's going to be happening here, but oh wow, they smoothed out the sky. So there was clouds, there were ripples in the clouds, there were dimples in the clouds, there was the blah, 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 blah stuff. When it smooths out and it's over you, that's when they drop the rains. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And the smart cities, the digital, the CBDCs, it's all coming very soon. And this was sent to me by a subscriber. You can check it out, patent number 6017302A. Yes, of course there's a patent for subliminal acoustic manipulation of the nervous system. They've been doing it. They've been doing it. You know, whether it's from the TVs, whether it's from the cell phone screens or the computer screens, or... Yes. And I also have a playlist on Never Lose Truth for the electromagnetic frequencies. The documents that for years and years and years I had to prove everything that I was saying with documents, with evidence, with the papers, and that's another thing that has changed greatly with me because I'm just too tired. I do have the playlists, you know, the videos are out there. Maybe some have been ditched by YouTube, I don't know, but you know, if people are not interested in doing anything, even just clicking on a video to see somebody else's research, why should I, you know, just put out so much energy? And unfortunately, you know, that stopped only about a year ago. All right, so this is Tony Punch, our own Tony Punch, and I will post the link. He has a Rumble channel, and he's posting, doing what he can to try to educate people. This is New World Order. It's a compilation, New World Order in your face. So check out. It's
so they will peacefully.
I don't know if you're referring to me, but what can I say?
Okay, we are watching.
All right, so you heard the shots and everything, and I mean, by the looks of it, it seems to have grazed his ear. All right, and from the sound and you know the blood, I mean, it doesn't look that serious. Obviously, the event is serious, but I mean, talking about medically speaking, I think it was a 22 maybe. It sounded, and just from the damage, it looks like it might have been a 22. Who knows at this point? They're still, you know, they're still coming out with the details right now. But I'll show you the moment they're whisking him off of stage, and you can kind of hear what they're saying. Right? I don't know if all of you have seen that clip. It's all just happening in the last hour. But here is the footage. All right. They sound a bit confused. these don't look like professionals. I mean, I'm not saying like they're just, their security is crap. It really is crap. Like how many presidents do you need to have shot or assassinated in America? What is it, 7 now? You've had 4 who've been killed and 3 attempts. I mean, anyway.
Sorry, but I mentioned this last night. This is what I have a problem with. Secret Service would not allow his head to be exposed at all. They just would not allow it. In fact, they would probably be on top of him on stage for a little bit longer and rush him out. They wouldn't allow him to, okay, expose yourself, fight, 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 right? That seems a little questionable.
There you go. You see the fist, fist in the air, and when he turns to the side, a bit of blood, right? So he's medically stable. He's even put out a statement, which I'll read to you in a second. But I mean, that image right there is quite powerful, right? Again, do not misunderstand what I'm trying to do here, because you have a lot of how shall I put this? Arse lickers who are, in full, oh my God, Donald Trump mode. And we're not going to do that here, because this man himself is an assassin. Yes, Donald Trump is a murderer. If you don't know, then how do you know Donald Trump?
And if you're not, interested in the truth about who your leaders are, you're a danger to everybody around you. These are psychopaths. Donald Trump is your quintessential narcissist, pathological, clinically narcissistic. Operation Warp Speed, sorry. He was patting himself on the back, claiming the credit for getting the military to hand out the vaccines. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's really fabulous. Okay, so the link is in the chat, Richard Medhurst. But yes, he's a murderer. Can't we get off well, we can't get off the liars, apparently, and the murderers, the psychopaths that fill government halls and leach their psychopathy and narcissism out into the public. Owen did, I think, nice commentary on this. Trump assassination attempt marks U.S. descent into darkness. I'll put the link in the chat. You can check it out. It looks like it might be raining hard in a little bit. Look out for Charlie, the Trump assassin anomalies. And yeah, we've got a lot of problems with an awful lot of the ordinary people out there that are, well, they have been subjected to a manipulation of divide and conquer. And their hatred, I've never seen so much hatred in our country as I'm seeing now. And it's pretty frightening, because it's a violent hatred that we are seeing. So look out for Charlie's link. I did put it in, right? I'll put it in again just in case.
Okay, I just want to point some things out about all this. A lot of weirdness going on, when you start putting it all together. Over the last couple weeks, I kept running into videos talking about this over and over. And before I play this, I just want to point out I'm not into the whole left and right thing. So do not take it that way. There's no partisan angle to this at all.
I just want to point out, Lori Rose just left a comment. Fight, fight, fight. Fight, fight, fight equals FFF equals 666. Interesting.
I don't care. I know they're both owned and operated. But I just want to point out that this person, the hatred exudes from their faces. Like, I've never seen anything like it. They look hateful, have their face literally contorting, permanently. But let's listen to what they're talking about.
I'm fucking seriously done. Joe, you're a reasonable man. You don't want to do this, but here's the reality. This is a fucking war. This is a war now, and we are fighting for our fucking country. And these assholes are gonna take it away. They're gonna take it away.
Her eyes look crazy too. Someone else is driving the car.
Joe, you now have the right to take that bitch Trump out. Take him out, Joe. If he was Hitler and this was 1940, you'd take him out. Well, he is Hitler.
Well, they didn't take him out, Hitler, in 1940, okay? But Biden would. See how so programmed. It's frightening what's happening to the American people. They're programmed. They're indoctrinated brains. The indoctrination is cemented in their brains. Cemented also is the hatred for the other team. Oh, manipulation of the American people has been quite a success. How does that come about? It comes about when you have a people who live bullshit lives. It comes about when people speak a good game but don't live it, and they don't know who they are. They're so easily manipulated to believe all of the horseshit. It comes about when you have an awful lot of people who are terrified of being abandoned by their social networks, so they just go along to get along, and then they may subconsciously feel really angry at themselves for living a life that is not theirs, not of their choosing, but brought about because of past issues they have never resolved, brought about from fear. I can't lose my friends, I can't lose my family, so I'm just going to go along, get along, and that gets people, that can create an awful lot of anxiety in people. If you're not firm, living the principles that you claim to have, you're wishy-washy. You're wishy-washy, anxious, fearful, you get angry, and then you get hateful. They know us better than we know ourselves. Yes. And that's why, I used to post videos on the importance of knowing who you are, psychology, understanding your psyche, all of that kind of stuff. People, the comments that I would get, what, I'm supposed to stare at my belly button? Okay. The door is open. Leave, please. I don't know what to say. They've studied us. Why do you think they're collecting all of the data? Why do you think they have profiles on all of us? So they know how we will respond. We don't even know how we'll respond to, situations. They know better than we do. So this whole thing, the latest event, which took place yesterday with Trump, that unfortunately, I agree with people that it may very well be Trump that gets selected, and guess what? Civil war, violent chaos. As far as it's not, civil war is organized between, sides or whatever. No, this is just going to be chaotic violence that erupts, and it will be Trump who declares martial law. Because he loves the military. He loves law enforcement, and he don't love due process. So, either way we lose. Either way we lose. All right, so I'll post the link again. Yeah, people are just getting very scary. Completely intolerable. Oh, so the Poplar report, he's talking about the Secret Service, the diversity hiring, the women who were supposed to be protecting Trump. It looks like a farcical, episode on some shitty, American TV show. What was going on there? I'll post the link if you want to see it. I can't believe it's 6:30 already, but fight 666. Graham calls for soul searching after Trump assassination attempt. Isn't it interesting? The same people who have been so hateful, Lindsey Graham, his career, padding his pockets in Washington, D.C., the war-mongering psychopath who loves any war, drop the bombs on Iran. He's calling for soul searching. Okay. There should be soul searching going on. But if you're going to do it because Lindsey Graham said to do it, I would really reevaluate that. Oh, here. Candace Owens reacts to Trump's female Secret Service.
First, I want to say the director of Secret Service is a woman named Kim Cheadle. Okay, and you already know what I'm going to say. Oh, there's going to be the headlines. Candace says that women shouldn't be pilots and women shouldn't be running a security apparatus. Let me show you this clip, by the way, of one of the way too many Secret Service female agents trying to holster her gun. Okay, this is from last night. This is actually a real footage from last night after the former President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, was almost assassinated. Take a look at this video. We can get out of this. No disrespect to the many women who are willing to lay down their lives, right? I have no disrespect. There are tons of women who can shoot guns, right? And shoot them very well. But when it comes to the responsibility of guarding the former President of the United States, we need men. Can we acknowledge reality? Are we allowed to acknowledge gender and sex and the natural biological proclivities of men versus women? Are we allowed to do that? Because guess what? I don't care whether we're allowed to do it. I've been doing it the entire time. I want male pilots. I want male security guards. I want men back, okay? Men back doing male tasks.
So do I. National Weather Service severe thunderstorm warning in effect for this area until 6:45 p.m. 10 more minutes for destructive 80-mile-per-hour winds. Take shelter in a sturdy building. And this house is not sturdy. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Okay. Get a little tired of this? I don't want to be in this area. I understand that there's no place safe, but there are safer places than right here. It has been very hard, and I am very tired. Stress, stress, stress. And buffering. You see how they throw out more. Ignite those supercells. Ignite them. Bring about destruction. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I agree with Candace. I really hope not. No, the winds are picking up. I'm going to just play this because I've been called to go out. Wait.
That they are naturally inclined to do because of their body composition, because of the testosterone that is coursing through their veins. It impacts women differently than it impacts men. That adrenaline rush that we get, something happens to a kid, I very much want there to be women there. When we are talking about guarding the life of President Donald J. Trump, the fact that there were so many women there is just unbelievable. And I'm going to show you, by the way, the director of Secret Service, Kim Cheadle, where her priorities were. You're not going to believe this, you guys. DEI. Yeah, she wanted to make sure, as the new director of Secret Service, that we were being diverse, equitable, and inclusive enough going forward. I'm going to show you this clip, and then we're going to probably have to cut to Joe Biden's remarks. Take a look at this.
To expand hiring, they're aiming to have 30% women recruits by 2030, and even allow YouTube influencer Michelle Khare to train with agents.
But I'm very conscious, as I sit in this chair now, of making sure that we need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in our workforce, and particularly women.
That workforce will be pivotal for the 2024 campaign season, which for the first time includes a former president who already has lifetime protection. Agents were there when Donald Trump was arraigned in New York.
We were able to work out the details ahead of time of how that particular day was going to go, but we will always ensure the safety of all of our protectees that we have.
The service has a zero-fail mission, a mission officers are training to uphold, pretending this field is the most famous address in America.
Okay, we can get out of this. We can get out of this, guys. I mean, I'm just like, ooh. When I say ooh, guess what? That punch would hurt less than if a man had done it. You want to know why? Because I'm a woman. I don't mind these women in roles if they're organizing the security apparatus. I think women are very good at organizing. We are naturally more organized, okay? I think that women do better when it comes to multitasking, as just one example. That's why there's the expression, if you want to get something done, hand it to a busy mom. Do you know what we're not good at? being under pressure in situations that are life or death. Okay? That is not our natural proclivity. Now, if a kid's there, I've seen some incredible things. But when it comes to this sort of an operation, you're trying to strive to have majority women? Who do you think could win in a fight? Her or Trump? That's a problem, okay? We need strong men. We need strong men that are laser focused.
And I agree. I have never been a feminist. And I think that, you know, every job has qualifications, and you hire the most qualified individual. Now, for Secret Service, it could be a woman. Okay. But you're just not going to be hiring women to fill a quota. I don't understand. Did anybody hear my alert that I got on my phone? Apparently there are tornadoes in Marana. For you guys in Arizona, this is, I don't even know where these places are, but tornado warnings in, let me just see if the alert has covered it. Yeah, here it is. And tornado warnings in Illinois, Carroll and Whiteside, Lee in Illinois, Pima County in Arizona, and Pinal. That's where I am, in Arizona, in Pima. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Yeah. I wish I had friends. I wish I had community. I am so tired of doing like it's, the aloneness is killing me. It's killing me. So tired. Good night. All right. All right. I'll end this. You know, there's a, you know, I did want to get into these priming the public. Maybe I'll just play a few minutes of this, play it out.
Haven't heard from me in a bit. I've been traveling. I was down in New Mexico doing some work, and then I was over in Tulsa helping a friend out. And so I've been actually out of Colorado for the past few months. I just got back, and yeah, I just needed to take a little time for myself. I will be producing, believe it or not, I know I keep saying this, but I will be producing more content here in the near future. But I want to just come on real quick tonight just to kind of respond to kind of some things that I'm thinking and feeling about news story tonight regarding the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, and how I think it's going to be used to prime people towards some end. There's definitely some strange things about this story, but not getting into all that. What I'm interested in talking about is kind of how these things are affecting us, how this whole political theater, and I do think it's theater, almost exclusively theater, but what's happening to us, and the rage and the fear, the contempt and the vitriol that's brewing in America, and it's happening. You know, this this figure of Trump is being used to culminate a lot of really nasty things, whether it's from the people who hate him or love him. Either way, people are being manipulated around this figure, and I just kind of want us to check. I know people that listen to this channel, are probably not in those camps anyways, so I might be preaching to the choir here a bit, but just kind of what's happening, because I overheard someone after the news say something to the fact that like, oh, I know I shouldn't feel this way, but I got kind of mixed feelings about it. Like, regardless of what actually happened, why would someone have mixed feelings about someone being shot? And they said, well, if you had the opportunity to kill Hitler, certainly you would do that. Well, I mean, it's totally insane. I mean, as if Trump is Hitler, as if the whole thing's ridiculous. I don't even think the president actually has the power. Doesn't lie in the presidency anyway. But what I'm interested in is how these events affect us emotionally and make us fearful and hateful. And there's something that's happening energetically with a lot of people around this political theater that I think is really, really unhealthy. And I think that I think we need to again,